when my son would ask me, what did you want to be when you grew up? Most people might have said doctor or lawyer, but to be honest, I've always wanted to grow up to become a cigarette because it is the only thing that my father could never abandon. For as long as I could remember, I've always felt like a man constantly in reverse, like the backwash of a dream, like karma's favorite crash test dummy, constantly begging someone for all the love that they'd already given me. So I started drinking and being with women in order to fill up all of the potholes of my false manhood inside of me. But drinking more absolute only made me more obsolete as I treated having the bodies of people like mirrors to try and convince myself that I could be beautiful in the pleasures that I gave them. You know, the only legacy that my father ever passed me is the uncanny ability to hurt the people that we're supposedly supposed to love the most, especially ourselves, so we become the monsters that we are so trying to hide from. You know, in a split second, I lost a woman that I thought I loved more than my own addiction. The very next year, at a random doctor's visit, I found out that I was alcohol intolerant, that I've drunk so much over the years that liquor has become poisonous to my blood, so my very next shot could have well been my last. My liver can no longer exorcise the demons of my past. You know, God, he has a funny sense of humor. He took away the two things that I harbored on the most to teach me of real love, and that women and liquor are not a cure to your loneliness. So what do you want to be when you grow up? I answered, I want to become a pediatrician, one that helps save and heal children, starting with the one within myself. But who would have known in the 15 years it took to write this poem that I would grow up to become a pediatrician, making a stethoscope out of a microphone, writing poems out like daily prescriptions, and turning the stage into a patient room for the healing of me to start within. Because when you are on the search for the divine inside of yourself, you're often led to the harsh realization that you've been more Rick James than First James, who built in fire escapes inside of your bones. For all the times that I wanted to run away from the blaze inside of myself, but what kind of legacy would I pass on to my son? Would I give him a legacy of just another black boy with hands like ashtrays for him to inherit the butts of his father's mistakes? I used to want to grow up to become a cigarette. Made sense because I'm a cancer, but I would not be a cancer in my son's life. In 2011, I went sober for him, just so that he'll know that I am the proof that you can grow up to be anything that you want.
Make some noise for the poet Pages Matam.